Recording in progress. All right, I'm going to be on gallery view so I can see your guys' beautiful faces. And we're going to cross our fingers that everybody can get on. We have a really great time today. I'm in a little bit of a different space. This is the one finished room in my house. I have a lot of other rooms to work on, but I thought I would do that in here and I've never spent time in this space. Like I just like look at it and keep it all pretty and nice. And then I brought my notes. So I'm just going to wait for you guys to hop on, review all my notes because I got so inspired the other day. And I just kept writing and writing on my journaling. So that's why I just love the journaling so much, because it's a science. I just grabbed a composition work book from one of my kids' old school things and just started writing. I don't know if he has any of it in here. No, I have funny notes. This will be fun to go back and like read in a year or two. We are going to talk a lot about mindset today because that's where it all is at. That's the magic. I'm going to keep my phone close. So if you guys have a hard time getting on, gosh, this is a great room. If you don't have a great room in your house that you just love spending time in, and that, create one, because man, it's nice. I love it. Okay, it's 10:59. You guys should be popping on here anytime now. My Wi-Fi is strong. It's strong. I should read you guys I have this one question a day. It's a 5-year journal. So this thing's going to look beat to crap once I'm all done with it. But every day it asks me a question and you can put the year in it and it just keeps going down every year. And I keep a picture of my sister and I. So she's like making me cry. I don't know why I keep that. It's just a good bookmark, I guess. Today's question was, what is your favorite quote or saying? Which I have a lot of them. My dad is really good at all those, which is super fun because my kids just think they're hilarious. But this actually didn't come from my dad. This one came from a friend of mine who I saw. It was like on his Facebook little bio. And it said, better to put on slippers than to carpet the world. Get it? That's like so perfect. So that's one of my favorite sayings. That's what I put in my journal today, July 28th. I am going to make sure that you guys aren't trying to communicate to me. Every once in a while we get a little tech issue. We don't want tech issues. I'm grateful for all of our technology, but it also scares me a little bit. But I am doing so much better at moving through that. I know for a fact that one of y'all can't make it. You have a meeting. So I want to make sure that everybody usually emails me and tells me when one of you is trying to join. And if you guys can't join right now, that's totally fine. I'll just go into it. And, you guys can get this on the replay, on the recording. So that is not a big deal. So when you do hop on, if you're live, let's see. Usually it tells me the requests. Yeah, I'll put it on that screen. Play, join, lock meeting, ask call to enable waiting room. I think disabling the waiting room will allow you guys to just hop on when you get here. That would be cool. 'Cause I don't necessarily need to make you guys come into the meeting. Well, Jennifer is often doing things. Checking our group just in case everybody's like, hey. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I guess this is just gonna be me, myself, and I right now. You guys, I know, get busy and hop on. I'm gonna close. Oh, Carolyn's here. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. This is awesome.
I was testing this earlier just to make sure I had everything good to go.
I know, right? This technology, like I was just saying, because it's recording already, just heads up. Like I love technology, and I was checking all my phone messages and stuff to make sure no one was having an issue, because it's like, I never know what creates the issue or not. It's like, I wish I had this system where it was like just flawless, and there's just kinks that get thrown in there. So that's totally fun. Yeah. And I'm glad you hopped on, because it didn't make you wait in the waiting room. Like you were just able to, and that I like, because if it's distracting otherwise if people hop on a little later in the meeting. So
I know, I did not want to do that.
No, you're fine. It's fine. We're getting this is getting smoother and smoother as we go. So I was just going to go ahead and start and let everybody catch it either on the replay or live. Sometimes it's kind of nice.
Let me go turn on my light, because I don't think I can see myself.
Yeah, it's kind of dark. Yeah, let me see your beautiful face.
Oh no.
Yes.
Okay.
I have gold for mindset stuff today. It's going to be great. So I was going to touch a little bit on, I made my notes for the meeting. What are your wins? Have you been doing good this week? If not like perfect, that's okay. What are a couple of the things that have gone really well for you this week?
Well, let me see. Well, I weighed myself just for the heck of it today, and I am down another pound, and I'm really happy. And for some reason, my video keeps on shutting off on me, but so I am really happy, because I know that's not one of my goal plans,
right?
But in a way it is, because I normally weigh around 125. So up to 126, I'm sorry, 136, 137 was really big for me. And I don't like that.
Right. And I get that. And I'm even still, I get challenged about that number. But I remember the last time I weighed myself. And it's interesting, because over the years, just prepping for shows and things like that, I've literally prepped for a show for the first 6 weeks, haven't lost a pound. And my coach freaked out. Like, she showed up at my house Sunday morning and she's like, we've got to measure you. We got to pinch test you. And there was so much movement that way. And so it was like, that's so interesting. Like every prep, every time I've done a show or done any kind of a cutting period, it's gone differently. So while it's a tool, it's not our only tool. And it actually, if it's a trigger, I suggest not even hopping on the scale. But as long as you can manage the mindset and it not trigger you of, oh my gosh, I'm not getting any progress, then that's totally fine. You can hop on it all you want, but it is not going to be our main source of, because if you're in the gym lifting weights, then you're also filling your muscle full of blood, and they're going to be swollen and inflamed just a little, which is okay. that's going to take, be taken into account. So water is also a big thing. Like, you won't believe how much water you could actually retain from just eating one higher thing in carbs. It's pretty crazy. After a show, we usually have a big meal and we have been dehydrated and carb deprived. And then we'll go just eat our favorite thing and not care about any of the weight gain whatsoever. Just taste and enjoy and get happy. And I'll pack on 10 pounds of water. Like, that's a lot, but that's how much you can hold of water. So that's going to be a huge factor as well. But I'm glad it encouraged you, and
because
what you're going to feel is going to be more important. Like, how do you feel in your body?
Yeah, I've been eating more.
I know, right?
I've been following your food plan, and I can't believe it.
Yeah.
So I was eating less and gaining more, and now I'm eating more. And you
know why? Because your body's like, woohoo, we're getting fed. Like, we can burn, we can move and operate at a higher intensity than we have been. So your body's not going in starvation mode. And just wait. You're just now getting started. And hi, Cassie, how are you?
Good.
We're just talking about how Carolyn gets to eat more and she's dropping weight. So that's really exciting. Like, she was under eating for sure, and the scale wasn't moving. But we were also talking about the scale not really being, if it's a trigger, don't get on it, things like that. But it was encouraging for her this week. So yay, eating more food, losing weight. That's the name of the game. What wins do you have this week, Cassie?
Same thing. I can't believe how much we're actually eating and still seeing results from it. It's crazy.
Yay. And do you have more energy?
Yes.
Or yes, like fuel. It's fuel for everything that you want to do. I know you're busy with kids, and Carolyn's running all over the place, travels and stuff. It's like, our bodies need that to know what to do, and operators just gonna like shut down on us and be like, nah. Well, that's exciting. I would love for Jennifer to share her wins. She just messaged me. She did her check-in. So that's one thing I'll check in on everybody. Those documents that I sent you, I am just going to let you guys monitor that for yourself. I check in on them and make sure that I see you guys have entered your measurements every week, but that's going to be a document that you don't get sent every single week. You just go back into it and you enter your numbers. And she has lost inches, and I'm sure she's lost more, but she's already down 6 pounds. So exciting. And she had some difficulties in the week, reaction to, we believe, was the wheat durum in the wheat pasta that she had. So we had to manage a little bit of that on top of, she got what her son got and everything, but I'm so proud of her. She's sticking to it. There are going to be obstacles like that. That is life, right? We all come across like sick kids, sick ourselves, but we can't necessarily lay in bed and let someone wait on us hand and foot. So we got to push through that, plus our meal plans, plus our working out. We're just doing our best, and she still saw results. So I'm going to brag on her because she's not here to share that. And so she entered in all of her measurements as well as her weight, and it just is, it's thrilling. And I know she's feeling better already. So I'm really excited for all of you, and that you guys get to eat. Eating is fun. I like food. Are you guys enjoying your food? Like, is it good? Are you becoming more in love with that kind of food?
Oh yeah, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to go, to be honest.
Good. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of all of your meal plans. Like, I have eaten everything. that you guys are on. So I'm like, ooh, I can't, like, you should have seen me writing the plans. I'm like, oh, she's going to love this. This is going to be awesome. So, and we will play with things like we did have to change something on Jennifer's plan, and that's totally fine. But what she did, which I want to point out, is so we think it was the pasta that was giving her trouble. And she sent me the front and back label of it. And I was like, gosh, this looks really benign, but we'll just see, we'll eliminate that and plug something else in. A different brand of pasta is what we were going for, but she didn't have it. She didn't get to the store yet. So what she did was she substituted it with sweet potato. And in the meantime, until, and you're going to have to find choices like that when you're out of something, or you didn't quite, feel the best eating the one thing. She made a great substitution choice. So that she's already in a place where she's like, okay, well, I'm not going to have this, then what is going to be its equal in the macros. So that will get better and better as you prep your food and you see, okay, this is 4 ounces of chicken or whatever you have on there. This is what 120 grams of sweet potato looks like. You're going to get so much more acclimated and be able to make those choices on the fly so much easier, and be able to stay on track, even though you're not on track. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we also dealt with, and it made me want to touch on this, some have hit a red line of stress. And stress releases that cortisol, and that will make you hang on to body fat. It will make you hang on to water weight. It's awful. Cortisol is just, it's a little menace to your progress. So what I did was I incorporated some supplements, rhodiola rosea. Everyone, if you're feeling stress, rhodiola rosea, and I can type it into the group if that's like, what the heck is that? It's a great adaptogen to stress and helps you deal with enormous amounts of stress. And then ashwagandha is also a great combination of herbs with the rhodiola rosea that also promotes healing and peace. So while we tackle the stress, we also want to, we want to bring the stress down, but we also want to bring up the peace and the healing. So those two things together combined are magic. So if you're experiencing just constant levels of stress and you're amped up over here, that will affect your progress. It will discourage you at times. So I've also recommended that about 600 mgs per herb a day. Do them in the morning because the rhodiola rosea kind of tends to give you energy. So you don't want to do that at night and then be like laying there all night, like what the heck? So it's going to give you energy. It's going to help with the stress. And then we want to promote that healing with the ashwagandha. I'm a huge fan of natural. Not to say that there isn't a time and place if you need to get on something for your stress, but I exhaust all other options first, all other options, including some lifestyle changes, which also is journaling in the morning. I recommend that like to everyone. I was just recommending that to my sister because she was having a hard time. And it's like, what that does is it just gets your alignment going in the morning. And I love what Carolyn was doing. She's like, I do it at night, but then it's like, then you can go over your day and really reflect on how your day was, and then changing it to the morning or doing a little in the morning and a little at night. I've started doing both just because I wanted to see what that did for my mindset and for my alignment, and it's awesome. And it doesn't take that much time. If you're laying in bed and you're scrolling Facebook, you probably have time to do a 2-minute journal of your day. And those mindset questions, I have it in here. This you keep on hand. Journal 2 of the statements, things like I felt good when ... That's a great statement to do at night. I felt good when I didn't lose it on my kid who decided to draw on the wall with marker. I feel really good. Or a good quality I'm learning is how to get on Zoom on a, regular basis. Like I like that, or something I'm grateful for that's a great morning statement, because that just gets you in that appreciation mindset and grateful mindset. And then I like this about myself. And just those things, it really gets you going. And I try to change it up. I'm like, okay, I already put that. I like that about myself. What else do I like about myself? And so it really keeps you in the game when it comes to that self-love, because that's really, really important. It's going to be, and that kind of leads me in to what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I subscribed to a lady, I think on Etsy. I don't know, I came across it, I Googled it, and it was the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. And we've kind of gone over, it's very simple, different statements that are growth mindset and fixed mindset. We took the quiz, and those of you are new, you'll take the quiz. If you haven't gotten that far yet, you'll be getting that soon, and you'll be able to analyze whether or not you're a fixed or a growth mindset. And if you're a fixed, that's okay. We are going to lean into it gently on becoming a growth mindset, because that is a huge part of where this all begins. It's where you are, what got me where I'm at now. Did a fixed mindset get me in the position I'm at now? And do I like it or not? And obviously we're all trying to change some things. And the growth mindset is, I am not there yet, but I'm getting there. And it just gives you a more positive trajectory of getting those results that we all desperately want to have. So I was reading, I subscribed to this mindset thing, and there was a story that she shared that I thought was really valuable. She put in there, everything in the world is neutral, everything. And what we label it is what tells us whether it's positive or a negative thing. It's what we attach to it. It's the thought that we put meaning to that thing that gives it that positive or negative thing. So a great analogy is rain. On a wedding day, we would attach that, well, that's a negative thing, right? But to a farmer, rain's a positive thing. So this rain is neutral in and of itself, but it's what these two scenarios attach to that actual situation. So once we label something, it has a tendency to stick. Even as a child, like what we were told by our parents and maybe our church community or our teachers. So what we label is really indicative of how we respond to life's circumstances. So if you always associate rain, that's bad. It's a good chance you're going to always associate rain with bad. And I love rainy days, like napping, staying in. Like I've changed how I feel about rainy days. That didn't always feel that way to me, because it maybe stopped me from going and doing something as a kid. Like, oh, we can't go swimming that day because it's raining. So I attached a negative thing to that. So as we get more mature and older, we can move in a better direction on rainy days. That's just a very simple example, but this is something that can be applied to everything, even the most extreme situations. So if you have something happen to you that's negative, ask yourself, is this really negative? Could it just be the way I'm choosing to look at it? So you could spin it to be something positive. You need to condition your mind to attaching some, I mean, it could be so obvious that this is a negative situation. Your car broke down, you're late for work. You have to wait an hour and a half to get somebody to come tow you or help you. There is something positive that you can look at. Here's an example. this is really weird, but I'm looking at changing out my vehicle from a gas vehicle to an electric vehicle. And my dad is like devil's advocate. He's like, well, here are the good things, but what about all the negative things? And I was like, don't rain on my parade here. Like, I want to get this electric car. And it was, well, you can't just gas up and go. You have to stop and you have to charge, and you might have to wait like an hour. And I was like, okay, so what can you do with that hour? I could bring bands with me. I could bring workout videos on my phone. I could nap. Like, I could be on the side of wherever I'm charging my car, and I can do a 45-minute to an hour workout right there. And I utilize that hour to where now I don't have to go when I get to where I'm going and do that workout then. Like, it's just how you choose to manage your time and do things with what is in front of you, the cards you're dealt. So he was like, man, is Tesla paying you? Because it's a Tesla. And I was like, no, but I always am looking for what is a good thing that can come of a negative situation. And you can find positive in anything. It's the power of our mind. So there was another example that was really cool that she expressed, and let me get the title of it because it was really, really cool. Oh, it was the placebo effect in happiness. So placebo is when we are supposedly getting something that we think we're getting, but it's really a placebo and we're not, but we think we are. So our mind tricks us in thinking that we are getting the effects of whatever that is. So for example, she gave these athletes, they all started steroids, but the pills were nothing. And they all smashed their personal best records. Like, they were all killing it. And everything, or all of the evidence was very clear that they believed that they were on steroids. It was steroids that they thought they were on. And so that's the power of the mind, the visualization. So all of the things that we tell ourselves have so much more power than we give credit for. So this expectation, do you expect that when you are eating this meal plan that you are going to get results, that you are going to feel better, that you are going to have more energy? If you expect and you attach that label to those things, that's what you're going to get more of. You create your own reality. So whether you believe you can, this is one of my other favorite sayings, whether you believe you can or believe you can't, either way, you are right. So we say, I can't, guess what? You're not. You're not. I'm in the gym with clients and I throw some more weight on that barbell. They're like, oh, I go, no, you can do this. I said, but you have to visualize yourself doing this before you do it. And then you're going to do it. So is there an example in your life that you can think of that you can attach a more positive label to that and have that expectation more powerful? I just want to make sure no one hopped on. Can you think of anything in your life that you might be able to do that with, make it more powerful, or that you have? Anybody can hop in anytime. I'm going to stop talking. Like conditioning your mind.
I know for me, I've now really become go with the flow type of person. Nobody's going to throw a wrench. I mean, if a wrench is thrown in to something I was expecting, it's like, okay, there's a reason for it. For instance, yesterday, I went, I thought I was going boating with one person and we were just going to have a great time together. And all of a sudden I realized that it was with his whole family. And it was like, okay, all right. Was not expecting that. And it's like, all right, yeah. And I'm going to have a great time. And I did. So it's, to me, it's things like that.
Yeah, expectation. And you start to, there was a part of it that was like, you start to understand people in a more empathetic way when you are in more of that neutral zone, and your expectation was one thing, but how quickly can you get back in your alignment when something, a wrench gets thrown into your plan? And the only way that you get good at that is by practicing that. So that's why journaling is really good. I mean, there's something probably complicated or I could label negative that happens to me on a daily basis. I mean, Jasmine, God bless her heart. She is a challenge right now. And I can either lose my crap on her, or I can say, you know what? I really just put myself in her shoes and I say to myself, what does she need right now? Do I need to judge how dramatic she's being? Do I need to judge how ridiculous this temper tantrum is right now? And staying calm and choosing to say, you know what? I remember being 7. I remember my mom maybe not taking to heart what I was feeling, however dramatic it was, and so I can probably choose to find a positive way to handle things like that in every day of my life. And I journal about it. But if I ever journal about something that happened with communication with an ex or with a client or Jasmine, I always try to do but I learned this, but this is what I know is going to go with her the rest of her life, and knowing that her mother loves her and is going to be understanding and gentle. I want my children to think of me as a non-abrasive person, even though I'm a really powerful personality. There are certain things that I look and visualize down the road that really, it gives me a happier life knowing how I'm handling things. Cassie, do you have any kind of example or thoughts on any of that?
Going off what you just said, I saw a post on Facebook that said, like, when we're struggling, how would we handle if somebody was punishing us and screaming at us instead of lifting us up? And it really puts into perspective using more positive, I don't want to say reinforcement with the kids, but I can't think of the word.
Like responses, like more of a positive response. And
right.
I've noticed it's not necessarily only with children.
Yeah.
Like with a lot of adults too. And so I always try to ask myself, how would I want it done for me? And that is that growth mindset, that always growing, always learning. There were a couple of questions that I thought were really good, and they're rhetorical, or you can answer them, to yourself or whatever. But these are really great to keep you in that mindset. And it is, what are the top 5 things you cherish in life? Here's another one. Do any of the things that used to upset you a few years ago matter at all today? What's changed? Oh yeah, that's a big one. I mean, huge one. I have found, I think when you go through relationships even that don't work out, but you still have to deal with them, you still have to communicate and things like that, they don't care about making your life easier, so it's really how you respond to a situation is exactly what's going to flow back into your life. What you put out there is what you're going to receive, and you want to be more receptive to God, the universe, whatever you call your higher power, to flow into your life. Be receptive to that. And you're not going to be receptive to those things. You're not going to even be receptive to getting the results on your plan if you're like, this plan sucks. I don't get to eat this. I can't find the time to do that. This makes me feel sore. All of these negative things, instead of really attaching a different label to all of these things and be like, I am learning so much about these foods and what they do for my body. And these are going to support what it is that I want. And no, I don't have to eat this forever, but what am I learning right now? Or I got to do this workout and boy, do I feel it. I love that awareness in my body because I have been moving, as you guys know, and working out basically at home. But I just did some of those videos that I sent you guys that was a little bit more in depth on lower body moves, and just doing that for the video made me sore. And I was like, oh goodness, I can't believe I'm sore from this. But I was like, oh man, it just made me hungry for it more and made me want to get in the gym and just feel more and more of that. But I could have attached like, oh my gosh, I'm getting so old. I can't believe that is what made me sore. You know, like that was nothing. I did like a set of 10 reps and that made me sore. I am so out of shape. I can't believe I've lost all the progress that I've made. I could say those things, but that's not what I attached to that feeling. It was, ooh, I remember that feeling. I want to get more of that. So it's got me driven more to carve out that time again and create that schedule where I can get into the gym and actually go and do weightlifting, weight training. You know, life ebbs and flows. So I really loved that story of the placebo effect in your happiness, because, you know, if we truly believe we are capable of doing something, our mind will find a way to make it work. I remember my ex-husband, when we were together, he's like, oh, I know. If you say something's going to happen, Leah's going to find a way for it to happen, because you have that desire is so strong. And so in this process, this really is very applicable to staying positive, even during the road bumps that you might have, in knowing that it's not going to be perfect. You're doing great. Come up with all of these phrases to tell yourself, because then that's going to keep you in your alignment. It's going to help you be receptive to all of those things. Even just working out, you know, if it's just, have you ever felt like just crap just hit the fan that day? And it's like, it was one thing and it just was like this cascade effect of every other bad thing happening that day. And it feels like you jumped out of an airplane without a parachute. Okay. It's like, don't worry, it'll be over soon. Like you just less dramatic attachment of those labels of what's going on in your life. And then practicing, what can I look at? This is good. I went and gave my car a service for an oil change. They call me, they're like, Leah, you need new tires, all 4 new tires. I'm like, oh, I did not anticipate the $1,200 to $1,500 additional cost, you know, but we are going to go on our Florida trip. And I'm like, you know what? Thank goodness they like told me that now. And I was able to get all brand new tires on there. And I know that I have a safe vehicle to drive my family, the most important people in my world, safely to and from Florida. Like it helped me move through that, you know, that extra expense that I didn't anticipate. It just made me grateful I didn't have a blowout on the highway with my children and could have caused a great deal of damage to us or other people, you know. So I just encourage that to be one of the things that you really put into practice, because I 100% guarantee you your results are going to come that much quicker. And it doesn't have to look perfect. I even embrace kind of a wonky thing happening in my day and be like, ooh, how can I practice and turn this into something positive? And sometimes you got to really reach for that positive thing. Sometimes you'll be like, okay, well, maybe the universe just wanted me to rest today because my car died. I can't get to my clients and nobody's available to jump my car. Okay, cool. It's rest day, or I get to spend time with my daughter, or I get to clean my house that I've been putting off. So that's probably a good thing. I get to do that. That's just forced me to do that. So I love, those athletes in that placebo effect experiment, they could have gone their entire careers never reaching those PRs. And just the power of them thinking that that's what they were receiving as those steroids made their minds push their body. And that's where it all begins. So when you're prepping your food, think about that food, visualize yourself eating it, visualize what your body's doing with it. Visualize that waistline shrinking if that's your goal. Visualize you getting stronger in the gym and you being able to lift 5 more pounds than you did the other day. So I just am a huge visualizer, and it's really helps you tap into some of that potential that you normally would not be able to do. I wanted to let this opportunity to answer questions and get some feedback that you guys need to give me with what you've been experiencing this week, with meal plans, with the workouts, questions, anything you want to talk about. Doesn't even have to be about that. Anything you want to discuss. Or just even comment about. I know you both just told me at the beginning of the session that it was like, oh my gosh, I'm eating food and like I'm getting results. That is like super cool that your buy-in is getting bigger to this process. Yeah.
I didn't realize how much I was under eating. I was wanting to snack all the time. Now I have no interest in it. It's crazy.
Good.
I thought I was eating too much.
You were eating too much of the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. And I know some people don't like labeling dirty carbs versus clean carbs. And if that's a trigger or whatever, then we can use a different term. But I just look at a clean carb as like a simple sweet potato, rice cake, things like that. A dirty carb is like a ding dong. I mean, let's just call it that. That's what a dirty carb is. Do I love dirty carbs? Oh yeah. I like to eat my dirty carbs and I enjoy it. And in my mind, so this is what I label when I eat something like that. My body knows exactly what to do with this. My body's not going to hang on to this. It's going to just go right through me, not in a bad way. My body is just going to process this just fine. I'm not going to gain anything. We're going to keep on track. So the label you attach to the things you're eating is huge. The emotion you have to eating clean over here, to me, the emotions I get when I eat clean are, I'm proud of myself. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of myself. I'm like patting myself on the back. I'm like, good job. And then I'm like, I know my body is doing exactly what it needs to do because I'm giving it exactly what it needs. And then you just picture your body in everything that you're wanting it to do, whether it's grow, drop body fat, both preferably, to do both. That's exciting, and that buy-in just gets bigger and bigger when you trust the process. Carolyn, do you have anything to add? I think.
Well, a couple of things. One was that muscle egg is so delicious. I feel like it's a big treat. It's a chocolate shake. And I get to have it a few times a day.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I need to get it.
They're doing a sale. I just bought 4 gallons of it last night, and I think it cost me $130 for 4 gallons.
Wow, that's really good because I'm ready to place another order for 2 gallons, and I think it's $70 something.
Yeah, it's much cheaper when you go and do the 4 gallon. Oh, okay. And if you love it and you're gonna use it, just go for it. It's worth it. You can even get put on auto ship with this stuff, which with my kids and I coming and going in summer, I don't do auto ship, but I will during like the school year. Because we are constantly, and they have a nude flavor called chocolate caramel. Chocolate's on sale. It's like 15% off right now. I don't know why. It's one of the best flavors. So maybe they're just drumming up, just like, I think they were out of a lot of things. Cake batter's amazing. Chocolate mocha's great. They even do seasonal things. So when the fall starts, there will be pumpkin spice, and which is amazing to put in coffee. Although don't put in hot coffee. Jennifer, she's like, yeah, that's not so great in hot coffee. I tried it this week. So no bueno on that. So I was like, yeah, cold coffee is better when it comes to that. But there is a protein that I can even post in the group on that you can just put straight in your hot coffee. It's the powder. It's called carnivore. It's a beef protein, which is, very different. It doesn't taste like beef, I promise. It just is chocolate flavor, and it has natural creatine in it, which I do use a lot when I'm really in a building mode. So that's why I really love red meat too, because of the natural creatine that it has in it. And we can have a little every day, and it used to be that they say you only need to have it like once a week, or it's only good to have once a week. And as women, we can do it once a day, about 4 to 5 ounces of it, and be good. That's old data and information. So muscle leg, so glad you're loving that, because you need to get that protein in. That's super important.
Now, what about those shakes? This is the isolate shakes. And it looks like when I was Googling recipes, they're all calling for a powder. Do you use powders?
Googling a recipe for what?
For the shakes, it said isolate shakes or
okay. It's just literally like a thing. Actually, I'm going to take you guys with me. Hang on. I'll show you. Oh, feeling my demo. Feeling that. Okay, so I'm going to show you, got all my supplements here, what the protein is. Oh, here's a great one. Here's a great one. And here's a great one. So, got it. It's just going to be literally water in a shaker. So I've got First Form is a great brand. Right there.
I've been wanting to try that kind.
It's really good. If you're like done with chocolate and vanilla flavored stuff, it's really good. So this is a pure whey protein isolate. This is what you would do post workout. It's a pre-digested, and it does say, so you do want to read, it says add 1 scoop to 6 ounces of ice cold water. They kind of help ice cold. Shake and stir. Do not blend until dissolved. You can use this at any time. The only thing is it's not very satisfying, but if it's an emergency and you're like, oh my gosh, like sometimes I'm on calls all day long and I've got to do like 3 protein shakes a day. And it's just like, it's what I'm just doing to survive until I can actually sit down and do a nice satisfying meal. But isolate, you can do at any time. Concentrate.
Now, do you add fruit?
No.
Do you add fruit to it?
No. Those are macros that are not written in. It's just literally, and I don't do 6 ounces of water. That sometimes can feel very filling. And if you just don't want all that liquid, so I'll do less, like 4 ounces. And it is literally just the powder and just the water in a shaker. Chug, you're gonna just down it. You're gonna shoot it. Here's also another great one. This is organic. It's called Vega 1. I like this. This is what I use. This is a little bit more satisfying. It's a plant-based pea protein. This is 1 level scoop in a 1.5 cups of water, 12 ounces. That's a lot of water for me. So I'll do maybe, it does not matter how much water you use. You can use more than 12 ounces if you're like, it's too thick, or you want to, just use more water. That's fine, but just choose your amount of water that you're going to be able to get the full shake in. So a shake is not what we think of, like we go to tropical smoothie or whatever and we get a shake and it's in this huge 24-ounce thing and it's got all this crap put in it. No, a shake is just a post-protein workout shake. And then a pre-workout, if I have a pre-workout shake, it's usually a concentrate. So a concentrate is just something that's a little bit more longer lasting that you can use as a meal replacement if you need to, but you don't want to do an isolate. The only thing you don't want to do is use a concentrate post-workout. Okay. You can use an isolate post-workout or any other time of the day. Concentrate any other time of the day except post-workout. Always use your isolate. It's pre-digested. And if you kind of, after a while, you'll notice like it's thin. It's not super satisfying. It literally, it's just goes right to your cells. And that's what you want, is just to go right to your cells, and do it within about 20 minutes of your workout.
So those like pre-made protein shakes you can get, like the Premier Protein, is that a concentrate?
Yes, that is a concentrate.
Okay.
That's not an isolate. That's kind of like a meal replacement kind of deal.
Okay.
And where do you get those?
The Premier Protein shakes, I think Sam's has them.
Sam's.
Yeah, those have 30 grams of protein. And I don't know if I don't think the profile is as clean on that one. It can be a good backup, or like if you don't have anything else, but like getting a good quality protein like this is probably one of the best ones. And you can get this on auto ship from Amazon. And this I used, it always made me have to go to the bathroom like 20 minutes after I drank it. It wasn't like fierce. It wasn't like explosive or anything, but it like, I don't know what it was, but it's got protein, antioxidants, greens. Like my coach is huge on organic and plant-based stuff, everything natural. She like puts me on everything natural. And this was one of the best proteins that I've done in a show. But sometimes you can get sick of a protein, and then I've got this one. My kids like this, my boys, when they work out, because it's a fruit punch flavor. So it tastes totally different than like a chocolate or strawberry, milky kind of thing. So this is just a nice change, especially in the summer. And I sometimes throw ice in my shake, just like 2 or 3 cubes to just shake it up and get it nice and cold. But these don't last very long. I mean, I shoot it before I even walk out the gym door. I have it. So if you take it to the gym, just put the powder, that amount of powder. This has 2 carbs, so very low in carbs, 21 grams of protein in this. So that's about the minimal that I do. I just put that scoop. It's 1 scoop for this, in a shaker. And then if I have my water bottle, I'll just dump some water in. I don't even measure, shake it up, and I just down it. So no fruit. Depending on what I have written, if you're wanting some sort of a meal like that, like if you're like, I just would really like this meal to be a shake, and you want to like make it a carbohydrate meal, because remember we talked about protein gets paired with a carbohydrate, or it gets paired with a fat, typically not both. So carbs are during our more active times of day, and then the fats are towards more of when we're winding down. And carbs in general, and this is general, you guys have specific ones, but once you hit your goal, you're going to get into this coasting. And what you want to follow basically is always get that protein in 22 to 28 grams at least per meal. And then you ask yourself, where are you at with your day? If it's first thing in the morning, then you're going to say, okay, I need a carb. Am I going to go work out? So you can give yourself 30 to 40 carbs. Sometimes I do more if I know I'm about to go hit legs, or I just know I'm in for a big workout and I'm going to use all of those carbs. but stick to what you have written. You're going to start learning, because what this is doing is you're learning how your body is responding to what you are eating now. So what I would also recommend is to learn what you're eating. Look up how many grams of protein that each meal has, how many carbs each meal has, and how many fats each meal has. And right next to it, print out your thing and right next to it what it is, so that when you see, okay, 120 grams of this, or 100 grams or 80 grams of this equals this. So you're going to start educating yourself and knowing what your body needs. Okay, my body can handle just 30 carbs if I'm going to go do this. Like, this is all tools for you to operate in your day. And eventually you're going to be like, I'm going to have this, but I'm going to add about 30 grams of it because I know I'm about to go work out and it's leg day. And so I need a little bit more carbs because I know I need more energy because I really want to go hard in the gym. And you're more likely going to use all of those carbs that you just ate pre-workout. And then because you went really hard in the gym, you're going to do your protein isolate. And then you're going to have a good amount of carbs, 50 to 80, depending on your workout, grams of carbs to replenish what you just depleted. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And you're going to learn, this is all one big experiment, to be honest. You're going to be like, that didn't work. I feel still shaky, or I'm not getting progress. So maybe I need to pull back my carbs just a little bit, like literally 20 grams. You don't have to get extreme. My coach, when we're dialing things in, she'll take me from like 150 grams of potato, sweet potato or white potato. And she's like, okay, let's drop it to 115. That's not a huge difference, but she knows that there's going to be change because she knows I'm consistent with getting everything in. So my body, when it doesn't get those extra carbs that she just took away, it's going to go after my body fat or that energy. So you're just going to observe what your body is doing with what you're eating right now. And then you're going to say, hey, Leah, this is what I'm observing. And based on what that is, we'll make adjustments. And after the time, you're going to be like, okay, now I know why we do this. And I know why we do that. And my body really responds to this. So I really like that. That's a tool in my toolbox for when I'm out and about or, on vacation. Because your activity level, what that is, what your workouts are like, and what your diet is like, and you make note. I mean, even journaling what you're experiencing is great. There was a time where I could not have sweet potato. I love sweet potato. Every time I ate sweet potato, about 20 minutes later, I was in doubled over pain. And it was post show. And my coach was like, you have a sensitivity to sweet potato. I laid off sweet potato for about a year and now I can eat it. It's really interesting how your body changes over time. I still don't know why I responded to sweet potato that way, but it was a temporary deal. So you're going to learn your body so well. You're going to be so in tune with it. At times I'm kind of like, gosh, I wish I wasn't so in tune with my body. But you're going to love being connected to your body so well because it's empowering. It's so powerful to be able to say, I'll go have a good time on this vacation. I'm not going to get too crazy, but I'm not going to also worry if I have, a dessert or have a drink or whatever, because then when you get home, what exactly you need to do to dial that in. And that's where a lot of my clients are who I've been training for 4 or so years. Over time, they've learned their bodies enough where it's like, okay, I know exactly what to do. And they're not too concerned if they gained 4 or 5 pounds on vacation. They know exactly what to do. And in this 12 weeks, so I'm condensing those 4 years into the 12 weeks that I have with you guys, and that's why it's important that we stay on our plans and we're being really diligent about that so that we can learn really fast. Workouts. Did you guys try or even view the lower body workout that I talked about? Some more details on squatting, lunges, step ups, and then
Mhm.
Romanian deadlifts.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions about that?
Not yet. No.
Are you sore? Are you feeling this?
Yes. Yes. For like 3 days. I could not feel my legs.
That helps so much. I really appreciated you showing us those moves. And I'm not sure whether it's that video or the one that you posted right after it, but I can't get into it anymore. It says that it's private.
Okay, I'll go check the setting on the YouTube. It was the macros I talked about. So I sent you 2 videos, and that one was more in depth about macros. And then the other one was the video on the workouts. Is there any videos that, and we'll wrap up here, but are there any videos of a move that I haven't posted that you need or you would like? And if not now, make note and then just shoot me a message and I'll do a video about it. I'm going to do an upper body. Like I'm going to go more and more in depth on weight training, how you connect your muscle, your mind and your muscle, and what to expect, to how hard you really need to go in the gym to get where you want to go. That's I was talking about, a person can go through the motions of the same workout, and then another person can do that very same workout and get so many more results because they went slow, they connected to that muscle group, they just visualize that muscle being worked and tearing down and building back up. There's just a lot of visualization that, like we talked about today, our mind is our greatest tool, and so when you do your next workout, play with that. Just be like, okay, how connected am I? Do I lose count in my sets? If you're losing count of your reps and your sets, you're not as engaged as you need to be. There needs to be a focus, a laser focus when you're doing your workout. So that's why I like to go to private gyms, because if I'm at like the Y or something like that, people would like to talk to me or whatever, and I just am not fully in my workout. So you just got to get the headphones on, get fully engaged, and know exactly where you're at with your sets, exactly where you're at with your reps, and understand that if those last 3 reps were not a challenge or kind of grindy, you know what I mean by grindy, then you need to increase, either do one of 3 things: increase the weight, slow down, or increase the reps, depending on what you want to do. And you can play with that and learn and be observant about your body and just be like, okay, so I really went high volume today. I just did a lot. I did 3 or 4 more reps on everything, and this is what I'm feeling. Okay, so mental note that. Or if you go heavier and you drop the reps and you go to failure, make a mental note on your results there. You're going to get results, but it's got to be this consistent over and over repetitive thing, and then make those mental notes of what you're feeling and how your body responds to that. And if you like what it's doing, keep doing that, and it's going to be different for everyone. I change things up all the time, and that's good because your body needs that change. It responds good to change. I will go check on those YouTube videos and see what happened. So the reason I have to be careful about the settings on like the curriculum that you guys get is I don't want just anybody to go to my channel and be able to get the curriculum that you guys are getting, That's not for them. This is only for you. So bear with me. I'm learning on what settings to put that on. Like me doing a workout move, I don't care if that's out there, that's just an example. It's like a 5 to 10 second video. But when it comes to talking about macros and going into details about all these things, that is only for people in the program. So I'll go check that out. And so was it the macro video or was it the workout video?
It was the macro.
Okay, so that's the one I must have changed because I went to view and manage my videos and I changed that. And I think I have to resend the link to you guys to get it. So I'll post that in the group so that you all can have that. And then I'll give me more feedback if that happens again.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys. And I think you're doing amazing. I'm celebrating all of this with you guys. It really inspires me truly to watch you guys go through this journey and to be able to be a part of it with you. I'm really excited.
We are, I mean, I know I am so excited to have joined this group, Leah. Really, I had no expectations, but I am just thriving on this stuff.
Good. That's awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. All righty, guys. Well, I will let you get to your day. And always, as always, just reach out if you need anything. Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye, ladies.
Thank
Bye.
you.